Assalamu alaikum students, this is Farwa Batul, your O-level computer science instructor, and welcome to another video for chapter number 8 programming. We are discussing condition control loops. We are done with the first type of condition control loops, that is a precondition loop, and we have also started post condition loops, that is the second type of a condition control loop. Let me write down here post condition loops. We have seen that how we can use a post condition loop in Visual Basic in my previous video. So now in this video, I'm going to talk about Java as my programming language. Yes, I will be using Java in order to explain you post condition loop. Okay, before that, look over here. A post condition loop is one in which you are going to write down your line of code or the task that you want to iterate. You will write it first and then you will mention the condition that needs to be checked in order to do the iteration. So this structure enables a post condition loop to do at least, it helps us to do at least one iteration without checking the condition. Why I'm saying that? Because remember that when a program is executed, it goes sequentially, line by line. So when your task is written at the top, it will be run once till it reaches your condition. So condition will be checked at the end once your task will run. So for the second iteration, your condition will be checked. So remember that in a post condition loop, your condition will check after the first iteration. So in this way, the task will be done at least once. And then if you want to repeat it, your condition needs to be true. Yes. Now let me quickly move towards the syntax for a post condition loop in Java. I have already written everything for you in order to save our time. Okay, so look over here. In Java, we are using do while loop as my post condition loops, and the syntax is here below. Let me just quickly tell you that what this line of code actually means in Java. So for the first line, you are initializing a variable named as number of items with a value 0. So somewhere in the memory, number of items will get a space and it will have a value 0. That's your variable that will be used inside your post condition loop. Now, in the do while loop, you will start with do. You are going to write do first, then after do, mention your curly brackets. Curly brackets are very important, that actually tells you the start and the end of your loop. So these curly brackets are the most needed thing in Java. Now, next inside your curly brackets will be the loop statements that you want to iterate. The first thing here is number of items plus plus. This instruction is basically known as incrementing. It is what we call increment the variable. Here, whatever the value of number of items will be in the memory, it will be incremented by 1. If it is 0 in the beginning, when this statement will run, it becomes 1. If it is 1, it becomes 2. If it is 2, it becomes 3. So basically, it is going to be incremented by 1 if this statement or this line of code will run. Now the next thing is your output statement, system.out.println. The output statement says that you are displaying a text to the user. Number of items is your text since it is written in quotations. So it will be printed as it is. And after that, number of items is your variable that is incremented. So its value inside the memory is going to be shown to the user. Remember that since the name is outside the quotation, so only the value of the variable will be printed on screen. So number of items colon 1, number of items colon 2. So it depends upon whatever the value is that will be visible to the user. Okay, what is the next thing? Once you are done with your task, you will go close the brackets and then write down while. Now, after while, you must mention the condition. This is your condition for this particular syntax. Here it says that you have to do the task while number of items, the variable value, is less than equals to 20. Remember that in a do while loop, if this condition is true, you will iterate or you will go for the next iteration. And if this condition becomes false, then you will terminate your loop. This is just the opposite of do until loop that we did in Visual Basic. In do until loop, remember that when the condition is false, you are terminating the loop, and when the condition is true, when the condition is true, you are terminating the loop, and when the condition is false, you are going for the next iteration. So that is what a do until loop was. And in a do while loop, remember that put a condition that is true when you want to do the task again, and a condition that is false when you want to terminate. Now let's quickly check for the condition if you don't understand my point. The condition says that number of items must be less than equals to 20. Sorry for this. Here, remember that if the variable value, if the number of items reaches a value that is greater than equals to 20 or it reaches 21, then this condition will become false. So before that, from 0 till 20, the condition is true. So remember that if number of items are 0 till 20, condition is true, you are continuously repeating and doing the task again and again. But once it reaches a value that makes the condition false, in this case 21, that is not less than equals to 20, that is actually greater than 20. So condition is false means you are going out of your loop. So be very careful about putting the conditions. Now, let's just quickly start to dry run this program. And remember that I will be doing it in a Java online compiler as well to make you clear about everything. Okay, here the next thing is to dry run this program manually. So just keep watching. Okay, so look at here, I made two sections, one for the memory and other for the output. In the memory, I have shown you a variable that is number of items. When the first line will run, number of items will be declared and initialized with a value 0. So let's quickly put 0 in the memory location where number of items value is saved. Then let's do the task for the first time without checking the condition. You will increment number of items. So if it was 0 before, it will become 1. Next thing, you have to show the output to the user as, since it's a first iteration, the text will be printed as it is number of items, and after that it will check for the value of the variable. Since it is incremented to 1 in the previous instruction, so 1 will be visible on your screen for the first iteration. Moving towards the second iteration, we have to check for the condition. Number of items is 1. Is 1 less than equals to 20? Yes. The condition is on the other hand true. So for true condition, we will go and do the work again. For the second iteration, it goes, number of items will be incremented from 1 to 2. Why? Because in the memory it was 1 and now it becomes 2 because it is incremented. So the output for the second iteration is everything is same, number of item, it is not actually item, it is items. Then colon, and then 2 is your incremented value or the updated value for iteration 2. Moving towards our third iteration, 2 less than equals to 20, yes. So increment it, go for the third iteration, increment the value from 2 to 3 this time, change it in the memory and show the output to the user for your third iteration as number of items is 3 now. So let me just quickly do it for the fourth iteration. It becomes 4. For the fifth iteration, it becomes 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, then 9, then 10. Why you will see this result? Because every time you will check the condition, it will be true till it reaches 20. So let's write down 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Let's do for the 20th iteration. So what will happen when you will check for the condition for the 20th iteration? Here the value of number of items in the memory is 19. The last updated value is 19 and we are done with the 90th iteration. Now we will check the condition for the 20th iteration. It is 19 less than equals to 20. Condition is true. Go up, increment the value from 19 to 20. Change the value in the memory and write down the output for the 20th iteration. It is everything is same, number of items colon 20. Now be very careful about 21st iteration. Its value is for the 21st iteration, when you will check the condition 20 less than equals to 20, remember that there is equals as well in your condition. Yes, 20 is equal to 20. Condition is true. You will go for 21st iteration and it will be incremented from 20 to 21. Here, make the changes in the memory. The value turned to 21. So, when the condition is true, you are having one more iteration. Number of items value is updated to 21 in the 21st iteration. So, I hope you are getting the point. Now, when you will move for the 22nd iteration, you have to check for the condition. This time, 21 less than equals to 20. This condition is false because 21 is not less than 20 and 21 is not equal to 20. On the other hand, 21 is actually greater than 20. So when the condition becomes false, you are having no more iterations. So here, this is your expected output for this particular line of code. So I hope you are getting it. Now let me quickly move towards my online Java editor. Okay, so here we go. This is my online Java compiler that I use. I made a bookmark of it. And here I have written all of the line of code for my do while loop. I have just copied the same syntax that I explained you. Number of items is my variable initialized with 0. Then inside the loop it is incrementing in each iteration and number of items will be displayed on your output screen in each iteration. The condition is set to number of items less than equals to 20. So remember that the expected result will go from 1, number of items value will go from 1 till 21. You are having 21 iterations till your condition becomes false. Very nice. So you can see over here the output is number of items was incremented to 1 in the first iteration, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. So in all of these iterations, your condition was true. But when you check for 21 as the number of items. So 21 is not less than equals to 20. Condition becomes false and then you go out of your loop. If you want less iterations, you have to change your condition. Let's suppose I put a value 10. So keep in mind that it will go till 11 iterations. Iteration becomes half because you put half of the value of 20. Let's run this. Okay, perfect. So when number of items becomes 11, so 11 is not less than equals to 10. The condition becomes false and then you go out of your loop. If you want 6 iterations, just make a change here and make it 5. You have to run this loop while your number of items reaches 5 or it has a value till 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will also be done here and the task will be done till 6. Once it will check for the 7th iteration, then it will never run any iteration. So look here. Here you can see that it reaches a value 6 when it will check for the condition 6 is less than equals to 5. That is wrong. 6 is greater than 5. Condition becomes false. It is not going to have further iterations. So this is how the code works. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope everything is clear to you. Do practice um, using different kind of questions and it is very, very easy. Just try to change the condition your own and just see the output. In the next video, I will be talking about activity 8.6. That is very interesting. We will see the summary of count control loops and the condition control loops that we studied in all these three languages, Python, Visual Basic, and Java. So stay tuned, stay connected, and do not forget to subscribe the channel. Bye-bye.